I think it's even more difficult for Reject in Group Green since they've had so much time off as well, Jackie.
Oh, absolutely, mate. You know, the downtime they've had since they started now, and they're going to be warm, and they're going to come into it with that same confidence, that same sort of, I don't know, quirky charisma we were seeing on the cameras as well, because that's what really won my heart for Reject Tokyo, was the fact that even outside of the lobby, they just looked like they were giving it and having a great time. So I hope that comes back, and we'll see as we get to ease into it. Our first Sanhok always starts with a banger, so let's see what we're in store for.
Yeah, tons of hot drops on this map.
But party, we had no room with the amount of stars we had, but that trickle down means that we've still got some huge names that will be into these games. At the minute, though, we can start it off, because there is a bit of commotion on screens. Now, Gladiators, they've been roaming around thinking they were the big dogs. They strike on what appeared to be a solo and do get the initial knock, but here's the response. Spread out, you've got a three-pronged attack with multiple points of damage now coming into them, and this is 2 knocks onto the Gladiators. A situation that's getting worse for wear, and with the potential to close the distance with a DBS blank, this could be a nightmare start for Gladiators in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, Nade's going to be huge as well here. Luckily, they have a little bit of cover, but Big Milo on the backside, he's still coming in strong. Raze will be looking for a nade over that top side. He looked quite fairly on target towards 60. Doesn't quite do enough damage. So it looks like here we will have Gladiators getting back to a full 4, but no Big Milo striking from the side.
Milo, what moves has he got for us? Meanwhile, the medic maneuvers are being played out inside of the compound. Somatic's back on his last legs, and they really are shaky legs at this point blank. They're all so low on HP. Every second here is going to be pivotal if they want to try and top themselves back up, depending on if they even really have much to work with. The utility is going to be a bit of a low right now. Trying to play the angles. It's a smart position from Kitsune. Try to let them get ahead of him before he strikes, but he's been seen and instantly spanked. The shotguns are dealing with them, and one by one, that's the way they go down. There's a chess piece sort of playing off for it. Works out nicely. Big Milo, though, not ready for the peak from Zerich. And this brings Mad Balls into focus. Just lurking on a bridge side, using the high ground to their advantage. Had the lay of the land for quite some time, and Zerich never misses blank.
Doing their scouting, doing their due diligence early on in that game where they went up towards Camp Alpha, they spotted them out, then they took shots over towards Team Queso. Really nice stuff. I think you can't fault Team Queso for the play.
How quickly can they bounce back from having an extended break?
Yeah, man, I mean, look, you have Custard with most puddings in the day, and Custard's yellow. So Group Yellow might be on something here. That's what we're thinking. That's what we're talking about. But realistically, you are right. I think a lot of the firepower over in Group Green is rather large. And I think just in terms of the point scoring that we did see from that squad, from that group in total, like, you can say that most of the teams that made it in towards that top 11 that went through to this survival stage are incredibly stacked. But there were some great teams that came out from Group Yellow as well. IHC, one of the teams that's got really good history on them, Zio being in the mix for such a long time in PUBG Mobile, making it to multiple PMGCs. We'll see what IHC can do here, because it's a team I did want to make in towards the PMGC, but they just really didn't perform the way I wanted them to in Group Yellow. One of the worst performing teams to make it into the survival stage from that group. So again, this is really do or die moment for IHC. I don't expect too much out of them, but I'd like to see them turn things around.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, you know, I've been so massively impressed by a lot of just the sheer talent we've seen from the Mongolian region. So if there's still more Mongolian madness to come out blank, I would be living for it, be it IHC, or maybe steal away a couple of points on the old placements. But dream scenario, not going to work well for them. The fight's continuing a little here as well. And finally, we get a cameo from Quest back on our screens. Haven't had time to touch on them just yet, but this is a side that I was very impressed with in terms of resilience. Did a great job to fight for their spot, to be here today. Actually, it is not very tasty.
Not at all. I mean, Influence Rage is going off on them at the moment. This is painful for Quest, absolutely. BTR down towards the southwest side right now, around Camp Charlie. They've still got a little bit of a ways to go. Alter Ego in front of them, so Indonesian on Indonesian action at the moment. Alter Ego making their way in from Group Green, tried to shut out the guys from Gladiators, so some of them were a little bit easier to play from, but didn't happen to be the case here. So Alter Egos had to switch up their things just a little bit. They've had a lot of prep, but will not save them from the guys on BTR. Superboy went down early, but doesn't really matter. La Paz, Tatar, still bringing rain here from BTR.
The drop off straight into it as Rosemary gets smacked down with the elbow drop, but you could see everyone really was playing to win from the get-go. It was very different, and also I think the level of aggression here vastly changing in the sense that you just allowed Federal to spot out 2 men running up the hill and absolutely annihilate him. That is a massive play. Influence Rage now going to want to continue this as well. You found 2 free pickups, basically fragmented Reject Tokyo and got them in the palm of your hand. Bullet after bullet breaking their way through their defenses now. Trade back onto 1 player, but you have shut them down massively. It should be a relatively easy cleanup from this position, and that is rough for Reject Tokyo. The Japanese side just evaporated and basically all was, and now they've kind of instantly, again, you've come in here, you're like, all right, let's see what we can get going into this week. Not much in the first game. Sanhok not going to go their way. I'm surprised by how many teams we've actually already seen getting dented here as well, blank. You know, we're starting to rip our way through for a vast majority of our lobby. I was expecting this to be a bit of a slower game, kind of, you know, touch and go, test the approach, see how people are playing coming into Sanhok. Instead, everyone's playing to their strengths, which is actually really nice to see. You know, it's not playing not to lose at the minute. These are some confidence plays, and we're having a bit of a compound clash going down as well. Rook on the defense, Molly through the window to try and hold your own. Oh, this isn't looking good.
Flashbang to the face as well. I mean, right now, Pusher is getting pushed in by the rest of the team from DK, just not letting up whatsoever right now. This is painful. But again, this is DK who gave up on that Paris Assault push. They need to get further into this game because they don't even get 4 eliminations. What was the point of leaving in the first place? And right now, they are suffering. Top 8 does not get you a lot of points. Now just Fabian left alive, 3 eliminations. It's decent, but is it enough, though, at this point in time? Fabian will just try to live this one out for a little bit longer, but you can imagine at some point, Rook is going to try and remove the rest of these squads. Fabian dashing one way or the next.
Oh no. He was trying to get away, but at that point, you kind of know in the back of your mind there's not really anything. But a pretty solid four that had farmed up the points from the clash they had versus Reject Tokyo. Now you're down to just the duo. Whoa, nice wide shot. Good swing through the window. That was actually going to instantly decimate the defense and leave Quest in a bad position. All on easy, but it's going to be a hard shot to hit. And the jump shot will finish him off in second. They're still farming up those points back.
Yeah, Influence Rage just have some serious fragging power on the team. I think they were tactically outclassed there by the Mad Bulls on the north side, but that by no means doesn't mean they're going to keep going forward and pumping out those points. Now Procedure Evos look to finish off the rest of Rook as Mad Bulls put a big dent in towards that team early on exploding the vehicle. But Procedure Evos, 3 eliminations, but high placing off the back of their compound on this south side is fantastic. But look at this. Mad Bulls have not had an easy rotate into this circle. They've not had an easy run, but they keep making the right decisions of when to take fights, when to leave them. They even leave one of their players behind to keep tabs over towards Influence Rage to get the rest of their boys into action. This was so well done from the Mad Bulls. They're not lacking too much on utility. Smokes, though, is going to be a big deal. Luckily, they already have the circle and masses of damage going through to Procedure Evos right now. Fleek just trying to get forward here. 7 eliminations on your boy Zerich.
Zerich, mate, he always lets it rip like a Beyblade when he's in a good position. And right now he's playing an advanced angle far further ahead. He's the one with 2 nades in the back pocket as well. So the offensive utility in close range to deal damage. Meanwhile, Tulika from the sideline, bullet after bullet, trying to keep the attention on him. Fleek closing the gap. He's got 2 nades to work with as well. Tulika connects onto Misery Blank, and this will be an absolute misery of a defense for Procedure Evos at this point. There's not much to play with. Geometry's out the window. They're right in your face. A super jump going up. They're still going for the peak round. Hit Fleek with a first, but the trade back is at least enough to hold it for now. But this is where the third party comes in, Blank.
Kaiovsky on the side gets a good amount of damage, able to steal away at least a couple of those eliminations. Now Mad Bulls, it's Tulika and Zerich. Tulika just standing up in the back there taking shots, and 2 heavy hitters at the end game here. A 2v2, let's see if the Influence Rage, Mad Bulls, who's going to come out on top? EU versus Americas here.
A clash between both of our groups. Who wants it more? First chicken dinner of the survival stage. The points taken from this will mean so much. You don't want to leave it up to another team to decide your fate. But hot hands Blank, Influence Rage, set ablaze as they go running through the Molotov. Tulika, he's just got to peek. He's just got to hit the shot. He's not enough. He's scared for the face. Eventually hits one, and it's all going southward. Mad Bulls with like 10 HP between the both of them have to put the foot down. And Zerich does it, securing the chicken dinner for the Bulls.
Mate, Zerich with a flash step out the side, the DBS to the face, Federal belly saw his light flash before his eye before he went down. What a chicken dinner from the boys. You can see how happy they are with that one. It has been a long time coming. We wanted to see a win like